Hello! Welcome back to another CNC project video with Legacy Woodworking Machinery. Last time we began building the upper cabinet by machining the top rail of the face frame. We also had a small setup mistake that reminded us how quickly a simple oversight can interrupt an otherwise smooth day in the shop. Today's part is the exact opposite. Nothing unexpected happened. Everything went according to plan. And that's exactly what good planning is supposed to accomplish. Today we're machining the bottom rail for the upper cabinet face frame. Once it's complete, we'll be one step closer to assembling the entire upper face frame and eventually bringing the upper cabinet together. This rail is considerably wider than the top rail we machined in the last episode. The finished part measures about 8 inches wide, which meant I needed to start with a blank nearly 9.5 inches wide. Instead of scrambling to solve that problem today, I glued the material up yesterday so everything would be ready before the machine ever turned on. That one decision made today's machining almost effortless. Just like the top rail, everything on this part is machined in a single setup using the same 3/8 inch down spiral cutter. We begin by machining the stepped rabbet pockets that create the shoulders for the iso-lock joinery. Next come the drawer front openings located in the center of the rail. Only after every internal feature has been completed do we cut the outside profile and release the finished part from the blank. One setup, one cutter, one continuous machining process. There was one decision I spent a little time thinking about before I finalized the tool path. A 1/4 inch cutter would have produced tighter inside corners on the drawer front openings, but that also would have required another cutter, another tool path, and another interruption to the machining process. Since those corners can easily be matched when the drawer fronts are produced, or cleaned up later if necessary, I chose to keep everything on the same cutter. Sometimes the fastest process isn't about making every feature perfect, it's about making the entire workflow more efficient. Another principle worth remembering is the order of your machining operations. Whenever you're cutting parts inside another part, remove the inside features first, then finish with the outside profile. By leaving the outer shape intact until the very end, the material stays fully supported throughout the machining process. That extra stability helps everything stay exactly where it's supposed to until the final cut releases the finished part. It's a simple habit that pays dividends in almost every nested machining job. One thing that won't be obvious just by looking at the finished rail is the grain direction. Although this part contains several narrow vertical sections, the grain still runs horizontally across the board. Until this rail is assembled into the finished face frame, those narrow sections are surprisingly delicate. Once the stiles are glued in place, the entire structure becomes dramatically stronger. But until then, it's one of those parts that deserves just a little extra care when handling around the shop. With the machining complete, it's time to remove the 3D tabs, clean them up on the router table, and do a little finish sanding. The joinery came out clean, the surfaces are crisp, everything came out exactly as expected, and now another piece is ready for assembly. Today's machining looks simple, but simple rarely happens by accident. The glue up happened yesterday, the cutter selection happened before machining, the cutter order was planned in CAM, the work holding was already prepared, the feeds and speeds had already been proven. By the time the spindle started, nearly every important decision had already been made. That's one of the biggest lessons CNC woodworking has taught me over the years. Good machining isn't just about what happens while the cutter is moving, it's about all the decisions that happen before the cutter ever touches the wood. Now, have you ever found that spending a little extra time planning out a job saved you from making a mistake later? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Now, this next part may not be for you, but we do have project plans available on Legacy's website at legacywoodworking.com/projects. And we'll leave the link in the video description below. Now, if you're enjoying these kind of bite-sized videos that show part by part or piece by piece of the project, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss the next video. Now, in the next video, we are going to be making the left and right styles of this front face frame for the upper cabinet for the China Hutch project. And so after those are made, all the face frame will come together just like the bottom face frame, but it's going to have, again, just slightly different joinery bringing those components together. So it'll be fun to see. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in that next video.